Hi, I'm Mike Weddington, and this WAKEtv Instructional is brought to you by Weddington Worldwide Wakeboarding. Today, our instructional pieces are going to be about the butterslide, taking your 3s to 5s, and the fruit loop. A prerequisite for the butterslide is feeling comfortable on toe side and heel side surfing the wake, and also toe side and heel side jumps on 2 wakes. You come up to the crest of the wake, and you want to keep the handle nice and low and into your midsection so you don't catch a toe side edge and go out the front. But you want to keep it low with your knees bent so that the board stays nice and level and you can stay on top of the crest of the wake. When you're ready to release into that, lean back to your front foot, put pressure on it, and drop back into the wake. To stay on the lip and balance up there as you're coming up the wake, when you put that pressure on your front foot, really watch the crest of the wake and try and balance yourself so one foot's on one side of the wake and the other foot's on the other. And as you feel yourself teeter up there, you can adjust your wake by bending your knees and putting pressure on either foot to stay balanced on top of the wake. For our intermediate trick, we're learning how to take 3s to 5s. You really need to be comfortable with the 360 before you go on to a 540. You really want to make sure you have a good, consistent toe side 360, a good, consistent heel side 360. For a toe side 5, after you've got your toe side 3 really consistent, you want to come into the wake on a nice medium edge, make sure you get a good lift off the wake, pull the handle in, do your toe side 3, be watching, and as you're coming around, just keep pulling across your body to your right hip if you're left foot forward and land the toe side 5. That's one of the easier 5s to do. It's kind of one of the first ones you should attempt just because it comes a lot more naturally. Don't throw it too hard once again. Just make sure that you get a good pop off the wake and pull a little longer than you would your toe side 360. For the heel side 360, you're coming up the wake on your heel edge, pulling the handle in to your hip, passing the handle in the small of your back, and then getting it back to your front hip, landing with a lot of bend in your knees. Now to move that on to a 540, it's the same rotation. Don't try and throw it real hard off the wake. Just make sure you come up the wake nice and easy like you're going to do a heel side 3. Come off the wake, pass the handle, get your 360, you're still in the air, and pull the handle across your body to your opposite hip. And there's your 540. Don't try and rush it. Don't try and go too early off the wake or spin too hard because you'll end up off axis and crashing. So really make sure you get your 3 and then just pull the handle across your body and get it into your opposite hip. Some of the most common mistakes you see in a 540 is trying to spin too early off the top of the wake. You want to make sure you get a good pop off the wake, get the handle in nice and close, and just continue like a 360, just pull it one more 180. For the advanced trick today, we're going to go through the fruit loop. A fruit loop is defined as a toe side front flip to blind side 180. As you're coming up the wake, you want to stay on the same edge as you would on a toe side front flip. Get a good load on the tail of the board and pull the handle into the small of your back like you would on a regular toe side front flip. At the crest of the flip, you want to pass the handle to your opposite hand and give a slight tug on it to your opposite hip and land the trick. It's not that much harder than a toe side front flip. It just takes time, and don't try and go too hard. A lot of the most common mistakes are trying to cut too hard at it. Then the flip turns into a roll and you're doing a Tootsie Roll rather than a fruit loop. So just make sure that you're riding all the way up the wake, getting almost a front side ollie like you're skateboarding, and really load the tail of the board before you throw the front side front, and just pull a little past your front hip, pass it to your other hand, turn your head, and land the trick. This WAKEtv Instructional has been brought to you by Weddington Worldwide Wakeboarding.